Hey guys, this is OfentseTheBreadMoulder, and I'll be doing a series called Bread and Other Stories. And there's a prayer that most people know that please give us our daily bread. And I decided to name this series Bread and Other Stories because I want to be the vessel to give the bread of life that comes from God. I have a calling to teach, and I'll be using the advantage that I have on social media and to spread the gospel because we need more content like this. So, first up, we're gonna start with one that's a big topic, and hey, I think we have been dragging it for too long, but I'll speak about it on the South African scene. So, it's about why dating is toxic or is as bad as it is today, why it's so difficult these days. And number one, we'll start it off from the genesis of it all. It's apartheid, believe it or not. A friend made me realize it. And basically, in apartheid, we had, before the white people came, we had solid family structures. We all spoke kind of the same language in a tribe. We wore the same clothing. We had great family values. And virginity was such a big thing. It was hard to find someone, or you were kind of slept on. You were kind of rebuked or made feel somehow if you were not a virgin. And it was a great thing, but we have lost that. So you find those values, right, in the black community, whether you're in a Sotho, Pedi, Zulu, Xhosa, Ndebele, Tsonga, we all have similar values when it comes to marriage. And a lot of people, when they approach to women, they approach for marriage, not anything else. Not I want to be friends with benefits, nothing like that. It's like I am serious and I have this many cows and I'm willing to start something with you. That's what we had. Now you have apartheid that comes in and that separates the masculine father or the husband or the leader of a home, which is a man. And then they take them out. Maybe they come from Limpopo, Eastern Cape, or Cape Town, or Lesotho, or wherever. And they all flock to Gauteng, away from their families. Now it's kind of the first time that has happened, where the father is not there and is gone for work. So now you have a family structure collapsing because the father is not there. And today masculinity is it's a bad topic. We speak about it on many, it's like, oh, misogynist, what, and you kind of realize the reason why we're dealing with what we're doing today is because there isn't any real men. There's a lot of boys who think they are men. So then you come to that, and then they are segregated. I come to Gauteng as a man, and I left my family back in Limpopo. Now there are no values. There's nothing. And now the wife is expected to do the job of two people. And that also breaks her. And then now you have children who are also, I don't want to use this word, but kind of incomplete. A lot of people would refer to dysfunctional or broken. But you're kind of incomplete. You haven't had the love of a father, the discipline, the values that come from him. That sternness isn't there. And that's for many households. It's not like that one out of the whole street. It's like maybe 9 out of 10 homes. And then in apartheid, you get men that are put in Emma Hostelin and they are stuffed together and they are away from their wives. And they also get tempted. They also want to have sex. They'll also miss their life. So they start going to other means. They start going to other women. They start starting their own family. And which causes hate, havoc, and all these things. You come on, then you find a lot of family households that don't have fathers. Now, children don't know a love of a father. And it's very important, especially for boys. Boys need to learn how to be masculine. They need to learn, I'm going to be a leader. And I need to do this. I have such responsibilities. I need to protect. I need to provide. I need to do that. I need to be the best of myself in order to lead my family. Right? And then you come to that, you find also with boys, they go either in the streets or they go to school. They find the wrong type of masculine energy. And that masculine energy, one that teaches them, oh, this is how you should be as a man. This is how you should treat a girl. Just slap her, then she'll listen to you. Or be aggressive. That will really help. Or also in school. The cool guys, the cool kids, they teach you how to treat women and how you play with them, especially with girls. And then you find me as an offender who doesn't have a father who learns those traits from the cool kids. And I learned that type of masculine. And this type probably starts from primary until high school. High school is when it evolves, where I'm dating girls just to have status. Like, oh, okay, think you could smash her? I'm like, yeah, I could. And it becomes a game, right? And because my dad didn't teach me how to love a woman, I don't know what it is to love a woman. The same comes for girls. They don't know how the love of a male figure. And so they also fall for these guys, or they hate these type of men, and they tend to go to the toxic ones. And now there's a phenomenon in the psychology where they say trauma bonding. They call it trauma bonding, where a 22-year-old finds a 35-year-old or 40-year-old attractive. And that stems, and most of the time that stems from childhood. And when you find a normal family where you grew up with a dad and a mother, you find that you get, and in those families you find the same 22-year-old not wanting to attractive. They even find 30-year-old disgusting. So it's what you call trauma bonding. So then from apartheid, there's a lot of broken homes. And now the broken homes lead to bad manners and bad habits to the dating scenes, and they start up kind of corrupting the whole dating scene. Because I don't know what love is. It's like my whole life, all I've seen is broken lines. And when I see a straight line, it breaks me. Like, I don't want to see a straight line. Like, it breaks me. I struggle. Why is it straight? Why isn't it? You know? And you have a lot of baggage that you deal with. And then from that time, from apartheid, even 1994, then it starts affecting. And then comes to those same children start dating, then they come in toxic relationships, then they find themselves in bad situation, they start hate dating, it's a whole thing. You find boys who are players, you find girls who are also players, who love sleeping around, who love doing all these things because they don't know what it is to love. And so you find that the same people have kids, né? Away from marriage. Marriage was supposed to keep you guys together and saying, I am willing to commit to you. So now you have a lot of people who are not committed. You have a lot of boys who think they are men. Like, no, I'm a man. And they are still boys inside. They're immature. And what is a nature of a boy? It is to play. Your whole life you're playing. And you find women, which are like the leaders in this market. You find women who kind of approach this dating scene and they compromise. The good ones who come from a household where there's two parents, like, they become weak to that. They find a tebza or an offense, and an offense is didn't grow up with the father, so they compromise for an offense. Because he's attractive. Because he has money. He has all these things that I like. Then they start compromising, and then you have a lot of women who are also compromising, who are giving their virginity to the wrong type of people, who haven't earned it yet, who haven't learned how to love themselves or what it is to love a woman. And then you find the good ones who are supposed to lead the bad ones away, they become broken also. They become dysfunctional. And so the market kind of comes saturated with all these kind of people. And now it is actually a bad thing to society that I'm a virgin. It's normal. It's like, what? High slim, Alice. You're a fool. And this is something probably like 40 years ago. It was on a pedestal like, when you're a virgin, you are loved. You are pure, you are clean. Now, being a virgin, it's disgusting. It's like, what is that? What is that? You lost your time, Dwana. Go play around. And now having a high body count is now, it's an achievement. Like, you've worked. Especially in the masculine space. Where like, yo, Joa, what's your body count? It's like now it has status that you have been sleeping around with many girls and you have not committed. You've all been destroying them bit by bit. And having sex is like almost two papers, right? And when you have sex, it's the glue, right? And then you separate because of he broke your heart or he did this, or whatever the case may be. And then it separates. And when those two papers separate, a piece of each side is stuck on each side. And that's what happens to your body when you sleep with the many people. You have pieces of other people's on you and their spirit on you. And so you find a lot of people who are working, or you find a lot of people who are working with many pieces on them. So that's why the dating scene is today. We don't have virgins. We no longer follow culture. You moved away from the things that kept you sane. And so that's why you can't find a wife. That's why you can't find a husband. That's why your relationship are always bad. It's because you yourself are incomplete. You want something that's toxic. You go out there and look for someone who is toxic and you're like, it relieves me. And so the solution to this, it's honestly God. Um, there's a verse in the Bible that says, seek the kingdom first, and all shall be added unto you. And you find there was also a story where Jesus told a guy that the kingdom is within you. And so if you seek the kingdom, which are the values that Jesus teaches throughout the whole Bible, the Bible says in the beginning the word was with God and the word was God. And the word became flesh and walked among men. So meaning the Bible is Jesus. The word is Jesus. And so the kingdom is those values that he's teaching is like love your neighbor, patience, kindness, love. You don't know these things, but you expect a relationship to go well. And so you need God to complete you. He completes you. No one else. No one else. Before seeking for school, seeking for many things, before going to the bathroom, before going to sleep, seek the kingdom first. Meaning love yourself. That's what you do when you love yourself. What? Loving yourself, you learn how to be patient with yourself. You learn how to be kind, to be loving. All the fruit of the Spirit found in Galatians chapter 5 verse 22. And in that, we'll have a better society, but it's because we moved away from culture. We moved away from religion or Christianity. We moved away from the things that made us solid. And there's no longer leaders. And so that's why things are as is. There's no longer masculine figures who are saying, no. We're not compromising, no, I don't want to hurt his feelings. And also with the mothers, they are also stuck in this situation where they need the father, the masculine figure, to help them. the solution to all of these things is honestly God. And saying, God, I come unto you. I pray that you may help me. I pray that you complete me. I pray that you may make me into what I need to be. So you find those things in God. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. And we need more masculine figures. Because if you have masculine men, then I can say no, Tando. I don't like how you're always wearing what you're wearing. Please stop what you're wearing. You're not gonna wear like that in my house. And then if you have more men doing that, then society stops having OnlyFans. Like, why are you degrading yourself so much? Well, because there's no one who's telling you it's wrong. Your father is not here to tell you it's wrong. So when I tell it to you, you're gonna get somehow, you're like, it's talking nonsense. I'm getting the bag, honey. You know. So that's why the dating scene is today. And because many people don't involve God in their relationships. They don't involve God. And you wonder why your relationship. I'm like, bro, God is not there. Of course your relationship is gonna fail. He didn't approve it. In Genesis it talks about um what God has made. So something along the lines of what God has put together. Let no man separate what God has put together. So meaning the right type of marriage is the one that God approves, is the one God talks to you. And how is he gonna talk to you if you're away from him? He's not gonna force you. No, he's not that type of father. He's a loving father. He doesn't force. He comes patient. He knocks on your door. Like, offense, can I please come in? That's what he does. And because many of us have moved away from him, we will never hear that knock. We are not close to him. And so you'll never, ever find a perfect or a great relationship. Unless you might even get married. Sharp. But will the marriage last? Will the marriage make you happy? Or will it produce the fruit of what marriage? Because the founder of marriage is God. So I urge you guys, I urge you so much to find God. And come to him saying, God, I want to seek your kingdom. And that verse says, seek the kingdom first and all shall be added unto you. So you won't even have to ask. You find this guy, he's so perfect, like it will be added, it will be attracted to you. You don't even have to ask. And he wants to build a relationship with you. He honestly wants, but because you're running away, he's not gonna. Because you didn't ask. You're not reading his word. He gave you a manual, bro. He gave you a manual. A manual to life. To the relationships that you struggle with, that you go to other people. Instead of your father, your creator. My guys, do you understand the privilege? Like, we don't get that chance with a Cyril Ramaphosa, with a Putin, with a Joe Biden. We don't get that opportunity to speak to them, but your creator, someone who's bigger than them, and he's saying, I want to talk to you. But you guys are not doing that. You're not doing that. Seek God. Seek God. You understand? Like, I'm at a happy place, bro. I'm learning to love myself because I'm occupying myself with the things of the Lord. And he's constantly attracting things that I didn't even ask for. Like, wow, thank you, God. How can I thank you for this? Because he seek his kingdom. For free, guys. Imagine, for free. For free. Bible now. You can download it on your phone even. You don't even have to buy it. You can download it and you can install for free. So that's how I would end off today. And that is a brief summary of why the dating scene is where today. We need more good people or people who strive for good. We need more of them. We need to put virginity where it was. And so you won't have many children out of wedlock, many children who are confused, who are probably in the situation that you are. You start to understand. It's very painful, but you start to understand why you say sex before marriage is a sin. God knew these are the consequences. These are the consequences. You have this many baby daddies, have this many struggles. It's so hard, but it will become easy once you ask your father, like, Father, please help me. Complete me. Complete me. Shout out, guys. Thank you for listening. And I'll be back for the next Thursday. And may God love you and may He do His works upon you. And may He be His vessel and may He cherish you. We're peace.